you're waiting, don't forget to check out our website at www.blissfulbotany.ca or blissfulbotany.ca/flowersandfriends to learn all about today's event. Be sure to tell your friends to sign on and click here to be redirected to our live show. The show will be recorded and available for viewing 24 hours after the event ends. Feel free to text or call 555-GROW, that's 555-4769, with any questions you have for the plant professionals. They will be answering these during the last segment of today's event. Stay tuned as our show will begin momentarily.
Welcome to Blissful Botany's 7th Annual Flowers and Friends Botany Show. I'm Amy, and my co-host Chloe will be joining us shortly. We're going to be your host for this afternoon's event. Now let me tell you, when we first heard that this would be not held in person, we weren't sure what we'd do. But thankfully, our friends at STEM Studios are making all of this possible, so I want to start off with a very special thanks to them. Alright, so today's show, we have some fun things planned for you guys. Since this year our event is supposed to be held at the Botanical Gardens, and of course, we couldn't all gather there today, we thought we'd bring the Botanical Gardens to you. As you may notice, if you're familiar with the gardens, I'm coming to you live from inside the greenhouse that houses some beautiful succulents and these plump green grapes. That's right, you can grow grapes in Newfoundland. It is possible if you want to invest in heating your greenhouse 24/7. And has anyone else noticed that succulents are really having their moment in the plant world right now? These little guys fascinate me. They come in all sorts of beautiful and unique shapes and sizes. They have evolved to retain that little moisture that they're exposed to by storing water and sap in those plump little leaves. So the greenhouse simulates the perfect warm and dry climate for them. Coming up after the break, you guys, we're going to hear from horticulturist Tim Walsh, who's going to go live from the Botanical Gardens. He's going to tell us a little bit about the gardens and more specifically about the Alpine House. Then we'll have word from Chloe, who's going to take us along into her rock garden. Later on, we're going to hear from one of our sponsors over at Let's Talk Science on an educational craft segment. Near the end of the show, you guessed it, we're going to be doing our regular question and answer session. So text in those questions now, sooner than later, at 555-GROW. That's 555-4769.
8 billion people, one piece at a time. Our planet needs our help. Pollution is one of the biggest threats to all species on Earth. 14 billion pounds of garbage are dumped into our oceans every year, killing over 1 million seabirds and 100,000 sea mammals annually. There's microplastics in 75% of the fish that we eat from how polluted our oceans are, yet still the dangers of this are ignored. Over 1 billion people in the world do not have access to clean drinking water, and those living in highly polluted areas have a 20% higher risk of dying of lung cancer than others in less polluted zones. Our planet is begging for us to pay attention and make better environmental choices.
Hi there, I'm Chloe from Earth Care. Do you ever feel like you cannot make a difference because you are just one single person in such a widespread issue? I'm here today to tell you, you absolutely can.
Cut down and control what you throw away. Reusing and recycling goes a long way. And try to find ways to shop sustainably. Join a cleanup in your community or organize one yourself with friends. Be mindful of your water use and reduce your runoff. Educate. Share what you know with the people around you and encourage them to do their part. Drive less. Take advantage of public transportation that's accessible to you, or consider carpooling or riding a bike.
So you see, you can make a difference. It is everyone's responsibility to do their part. The time is now. Our planet's alarm is going off. It's time to wake up and take action.
Hi there, my name is Tim Walsh and we're here at the beautiful Botanical Garden. I'm really happy to be part of Flowers and Friends this year, and we're standing in the Alpine House at the Botanical Garden. Botanical Gardens are places where we display plants that grow well in our climates. And so that's what we're all about. We're all about growing them here in our display so that you can actually come and see how these plants grow and find the ones that grow well for you. And if we can grow them, you can grow them. And today we're actually standing in the Alpine House, which is a very special feature of the Botanical Garden. It's a way to highlight the alpines that grow in alpine regions all over the world, in northern parts of the globe. All of these plants that we have highlighted here grow in high mountainous areas in those regions. And those plants don't grow tall. They don't get tall like the other plants that we like to grow in our flower gardens. They're often quite small, and because they're exposed to huge amounts of snow load, lots of high winds, very poor soils, and as a result of that, the plants tend to stay small because they can't get very big. If they were to get long stems and big flowers, well, of course the wind or the snow would break them off. And so the plants tend to stay small. So if we look a little closer here, we can actually see how small some of these plants are. And so the Alpine House is all about bringing these plants up close so that we can actually appreciate these features. This little plant here called Jovibarba pumila, small little plant, very succulent look. It almost looks cactus-like. But those leaves are very small and low to the ground. So you can imagine how much snow that can actually be piled on top of that plant. But because all the leaves and stems are held close to the ground, there's nothing to break. And so these plants grow very, very slowly. But because they are also in mountainous regions, the winter comes very quickly, so they flower very quickly also. And so oftentimes they're the earliest blooms to happen on these plants. So anyway, I'm really happy to be part of your group this year. Blissful Botany, really great to be part of that. Thanks for coming to the Botanical Garden. My name is Tim Walsh.
Hi, I'm Chloe. Welcome back to the show. I want to thank you, Tim, for the wonderful overview of the alpine plants from the Alpine House at the Gardens. It is fascinating that plants are so adaptive. They know what their constraints of their environment are, and they evolve to thrive in them. Who knew any plant was suited for the cold and the wind? Tim mentioned that these plants can mainly be found in mountainous regions of our globe. But did you know that some types of alpine plants grow right here on the island? So I'm joining you right now in front of one of Munn's most recently constructed rock gardens. Here at the gardens, they have a great display of many different styles of rock gardens. And the goal with these is to showcase how adaptive plants are to rocky areas and what we often think of as unsuitable for growth areas. So there are actually over 150 plants thriving in this beautiful rock creation behind me, many of which were in the Alpine House. Just to name a few, you may be familiar with, we have the rose root plant, native to Newfoundland, found very commonly on the Northern Peninsula, but also up on Signal Hill. Another alpine plant is a succulent-looking plant called hens and chicks. And like Amy said, succulents are making great waves in the houseplant division, so we can definitely see people taking these plants and putting them in their outdoor gardens as well. So all these plants share common characteristics. They have these really deep roots that allow them to tap into all the water sources, and they also tend to grow very low to the ground to avoid wind damage and drying out. So they really do love our island's climate. That's all I have to share with you here at the Rock Gardens today, but be sure to stay tuned as we have lots more to share. Coming up after the break, we have another very special guest.
Are you tired of coming home every day to find your seeds have still not grown? Are you struggling to keep your plants alive? Are you wondering if you will ever get a green thumb? Well, wonder no longer. Introducing the Smart Garden Click and Grow. Click and Grow uses science and technology to naturally optimize plant growth. Our Smart Gardens provide zero-effort gardening solutions perfect for urban homes. Using specially developed smart soil and a simple automatic system, Click and Grow products help you to grow plants quickly and easily without any GMOs, pesticides, insecticides, or other harmful substances. The Click and Grow system comes equipped with extension arms to allow your lamp to grow as your plants grow.
I can't believe I grew my very own lettuce. Thanks, Click and Grow.
Each kit contains everything you see here. Order yours now for just $155.95. Walk Mondays last.
So we have learned so much from our friends at the Botanical Gardens, and it is such a privilege to be able to host our event here again this year. We have met with some broader challenges with having to transition to being a virtual event, but it has led us to some great opportunities as well. It allowed us to get to know other organizations here at MUN that we wouldn't have been able to bring together had it been in person. One of those organizations is Let's Talk Science. Today we are thrilled to be here with Heather, who is the site coordinator for this program. Heather has been here for almost 10 years now, and she is the best at what she does. So it is with great pleasure that I can introduce you to her all. Heather?
Thanks for that wonderful introduction, Chloe and Amy. My name is Heather, and I'm the coordinator for Let's Talk Science here at Memorial University. For those of you who don't know, Let's Talk Science is a national charitable organization that aims to provide children and youth with opportunities to engage in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. And we love making STEM fun. One of my favorite activities is talking about the butterfly life cycle. So to start things out, of course, you have to have your eggs on your leaf. I'm a biologist at heart, so here we have our little caterpillar. We can add that to our cycle with a bit of tape. Next step, kids love watching this step and watching metamorphosis happen live. So I've got a stick, you can collect these outside, and a bit of construction paper that you fold up to look like a chrysalis or a pupa. That will be our third step in our cycle. And last but not least, we make a little pretty butterfly. So all of the activities that we use simple materials that you can find at home. Pipe cleaners and tissue paper, and you fold it up and you've got a butterfly. Something as simple as this, talking about a biology of this cycle, metamorphosis, but also having a little bit of art in there too. So STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. We love these sorts of activities here at Let's Talk Science. And thank you for this opportunity to promote what we do. We love going into classrooms, community groups, summer camps, all of those things around the city and the province and beyond. So I throw it back to the folks at Blissful Botany.
Give the gift that celebrates. That heals. That loves. Because whatever message you're trying to pass along, flowers say it better. The pretty petals.
Thanks for that, Heather. We really appreciate you taking the time to be part of the show today. Up next here, we're going to get into our question and answer session for all you plant lovers and wanderers out there. Thank you. Question number 1 is from Kelly. Hey, I'm tuning in as a first-time viewer and beginner gardener. I came to you for some advice. I'm not sure what to do and feel like I've tried everything, but I can't keep any of my plants alive. I'm desperate to bring some greenery to my home. What am I doing wrong? What's the easiest plant to take care of? Let's get to the root of the problem here. Get it? Root of the problem? Okay. There's a number of things you could be doing wrong here. Over or underwatering, lack of drainage in your pots, not enough or too much sunlight. A lot of plants have complex needs. You should start with something that's easy to take care of. My recommendation would be to get yourself a little succulent. These guys are very forgiving and typically only need watering once a month. If you still can't keep them alive, consider getting some big plants. This one's from John. Hello there, I've recently moved into a new house and the backyard is just so bare. I'm brand new to gardening and I've planted some trees and shrubs, but it's been over 2 weeks now and still nothing has grown. I must be doing something wrong. I need your expertise. How do I get these trees to grow? Brand new to gardening, hey? Okay, you don't say. I hate to be the one to break it to you, but trees take on average 20 to 30 years to mature, so I wouldn't hold your breath, and I'd recommend getting some of those pre-grown trees for your backyard for replanting. Thank you for this intriguing question, though. So the last one here is from an anonymous sender. I'm worried for my friend. She often talks to her plants, reads them stories, sings them songs, gives them words of encouragement. I'm not sure whether to be concerned for her mental well-being at this point, but she insists it has benefits for them. I've been wanting to come on here and ask you guys, is she okay? Your friend is going to be just fine. There's real science out there that tells us that plants greatly benefit from human conversation due to the vibrations and carbon dioxide. You see, plants are adaptive to their environments, and they can actually hear what's going on around them. Of course, they understand differently from how us humans do, but there is some freaky evidence out there that correlates to positive messages being related to more growth than negative messages are. Not to mention, talking to your plants has mental health benefits for us too. So not to worry about your friend. Well, that's all the time we have for our question and answer session, everyone. Thanks for sending in your questions, and we'll be right back after the break.
With summer just right around the corner, it's time to start thinking about activities for the kids. You are not going to want to miss the opportunity for your children to come and enjoy Fun and Bloom Summer Camp. Here at Fun and Bloom, we offer programs for ages 3 to 12. This is a place to experience and appreciate all the wonders of the environment around us. Our program is filled with games and fun for everyone. With creative ways to connect with nature, your kids will learn skills in planting, gardening, and so much more. Our instructors are experienced in helping to facilitate friendship building with activities that are based on kindness and care for one another. Online registration begins Thursday, June 1st. We'll see you there.
So that's it for today's show, folks. We were so happy that we could still all get together at the Botanical Gardens to put off Flowers and Friends despite the interruption of the current pandemic. We hope that next year we can get back to our usual interactive Flower and Friends Botany show, wherever that may be. Until then, I'm Amy, and Chloe and I wish you all a good day and happy gardening.